And now, Forecast First from Color 10 News. Certified by Weather Rate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
We have seen a lot more sunshine to kickstart our hump day. We've seen it through the morning, and we're still seeing it. But notice the cloud cover trying to sneak back in, and that will be the case as we approach the afternoon and evening as another disturbance works in from the west. So be prepared for maybe not as much sunshine for that ride on home from work. Higher cloud cover as a result of that system developing here, but we still have that brighter sky looking out over Park Central Square here in Springfield, where temperatures now are in the lower 40s. 45 in Fayetteville, though, 43 in Branson, closer to 40 there. Rolla, Lake Ozark, 41 in Camdenton, Fort Wood also sitting at 41 degrees. As we progress throughout the rest of our day, we're back into the upper 40s and lower 50s. I think we'll hit 50 here in Springfield before those clouds really do take on over. We are tracking the potential for a little more fog later on tonight, our next rain chance, and of course a warm up. We'll talk about that, and then maybe when the shot of some wintry weather tries to return here in our forecast. Color 10 News Midday starts right now.
Now from Ozarks First, you're watching Color 10 News Midday.
Welcome, everyone. This is Color 10 Midday on the Z. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe Morano. Our continuing coverage of Joe Biden's inauguration is happening on Color 10 right now, if you'd like to see that. Joe Biden is addressing the crowd after just being inaugurated as the 46th president of the United States. Let's take a listen at what he has to say right now.
Here we stand. We're 108 years ago at another inaugural. Thousands of protesters tried to block brave women marching for the right to vote. And today, we mark the swearing in of the first woman in American history elected to national office, Vice President Kamala Harris. Don't tell me things can't change. Here we stand, across the Potomac from Arlington Cemetery, where heroes who gave the last full measure of devotion rest in eternal peace. And here we stand, just days after a riotous mob thought they could use violence to silence the will of the people, to stop the work of our democracy.
What you just listened to and what you see here is a live look at President Joe Biden addressing the nation for the first time as the nation's president right there. More coverage again of that happening right now on Color 10. Meanwhile, President Trump left the White House for the final time as president earlier this morning. This is a look at him leaving there. He took Air Force One to Joint Base Andrews and spoke to some supporters there, then got back on his plane and went to Mar-a-Lago, Florida, where he, his wife, and son will reside. Now, proceedings for the inauguration began early this morning, and it's been a busy day in Washington all around with President Trump leaving and President Biden being inaugurated. Let's go to Skylar Henry for an update of what has happened with both today.
President-elect Joe Biden arrived at the U.S. Capitol, ready to take the oath, which will make him the 46th president of the United States. Speaking from the same place rioters swarmed just 2 weeks ago, he's expected to use his inaugural address to call for unity in America. But the speech will be made in front of a sea of flags and not in front of thousands of supporters because of security concerns and the pandemic. Tackling the coronavirus will be one of the new president's top priorities.
History will be made when Kamala Harris raises her hand to take the oath of office, becoming the first woman and person of color to serve as vice president.
President Trump made an early morning departure from the White House.
I just want to say goodbye, but hopefully it's not a long-term goodbye.
At a farewell ceremony at Joint Base Andrews, he did not acknowledge the new president by name, while promising to be back soon.
I will be watching, I will be listening, and I will tell you that the future of this country has never been better. I wish the new administration great luck and great success.
This afternoon, President Biden will take executive action to undo some of President Trump's actions. In a nod to the support he'll need from Congress, Mr. Biden invited leaders from both parties to join him at a mass this morning. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And as you just heard, Kamala Harris is now the vice president, the first woman to assume that position. She's now also the president of the Senate. So later today, she'll swear in the two winners of the Senate runoffs in Georgia from earlier this month and her successor from California, which would give Democrats control of the Senate. Now, again, we have coverage of this happening throughout the day on ozarksfirst.com for you. Even things you've missed can be found on there. Just go to our website, click on 2021 inauguration coverage at the top of our homepage, and you'll see that streaming link. As we get back to some more local news for you today, a group of Springfield Public School students are creating a way to help those in need. Help the Homies is a program with kids that just started and are preparing kindness kits. Girls came up with the idea after wanting to help people that were experiencing homelessness. After a pitch, everyone from Mark Twain Elementary, where they go to school, got on board and donated items like toothpaste and hand sanitizer. The group even surpassed its goal of raising $100 in monetary donations.
Well, it was like we didn't know if she was going to say yes, or because we had to put a bunch of ideas into it, and we didn't know what was going to happen if she said no.
And when she said yes, how did that make you feel?
Really good inside. We just felt like we could help our community with it.
We got the idea approved, but we had to do it after winter break, and I'm a virtual student, so they found a way for me to be included in this. So.
The girls will pack those bags this Thursday. Then in February, Victory Mission and Freeway Ministries will visit the campus to collect them and also share what their organizations are doing for the community. 1,500 Springfield residents have some comments and some concerns about the new $26 million Grant Avenue Parkway project. That's the 3-mile stretch of trail that'll be built from downtown Springfield to Wonders of Wildlife. City Council was told this week that some priorities include connecting schools and parks to the trail, a safe route for bikers and walkers, and improving traffic at Sunshine and Grant. But 15 properties could be displaced because of this, and some homeowners could see their land shrink if roads widen. But final design plans for this actually won't be selected until September. 1 in 5 Springfield residents say they've been a victim of a crime in the past year. That's one of the stats to come out of the city's Springfield Citizen Survey. About 83% of people say they feel safe in their neighborhood during the day. About 55% feel safe at night. Cora Scott with the city says the survey focused specifically on perceptions of race relations, safety, and law enforcement within the community.
These topics were intentionally chosen for a number of reasons. One is just the climate in the country, especially the racial awakening that we all felt with the horrible incident that happened with the senseless death of George Floyd, and then just other calls for social justice. So we decided that this particular survey would take that very quantitative analysis of those issues.
Ozarks Food Harvest has teamed up with Destiny Church in Republic to help feed families once a month. Every third Tuesday, Destiny Church will have a drive-through operation set up for families to pick up things like meat, fruit, and vegetables. Last night was the first time at a new location, and those who volunteered from the church believe it was quite a rewarding experience.
It's such a blessing to them to not have to worry about where that meal is going to come from, and especially with them knowing it's going to be an ongoing effort, it's a relief to them to know that they have an additional source that they can reach out to for that assistance when they need it.
You can even see the kids running around, having a good time. You could tell they were getting into it, just being able to help out, and you could tell it was just a joy for everybody who was involved, those getting the food as well as those giving it away.
Greene County residents can qualify if they get federal assistance or meet income requirements. We do have a note of putting crime in focus for you here. A Pulaski County man is expected to be sentenced today. Anthony Olden, who was originally charged with second-degree murder in the 2019 beating death of Sean Raines, is the person. In September of last year, he accepted a plea deal that lowered the charge to voluntary manslaughter. It is 8 past the hour right now as we take a look outside. Pretty clear and decently warm today, right, TJ?
For sure, Joe. Definitely a lot brighter than our Tuesday. We're going to have more warm streaming in ahead of our next cold front. Temperatures, I think, topping out 7 degrees above average by this afternoon. We'll talk more about when the cool down starts to take effect and when we could possibly see some wintry weather returning. We'll have the latest in just a few minutes.